Hello everyone, my name is Angel and in today's session we'll be learning about interjections. So have you ever heard about interjections? Do you think interjections have some meanings? Let's learn about it. Interjections. These are the words that are actually used to describe some kind of emotions or feelings that we have. Like for example, if I'm extremely happy, I'll be using a term. If I'll be extremely sad, I'll be using another term. Let's talk about those. So the first word that we have is wow. This is a very common word that is used in our daily life. It is used to describe surprise or kind of happiness over something. Wow, this dress is so pretty. So in this manner, when you have to describe the amount of surprise or happiness for something, we use the word wow. Similarly, the next word that we have over here is woe. So the word woe is described in two meanings actually. Firstly, the word is used if you have to tell somebody to calm down. Like for example, woe, you're driving too fast, you need to slow down. This is the first manner that we use the word woe as. Similarly, we have to use the word woe in a manner of talking about how amazed you are for that thing. Whoa, you look stunning in this dress. So are you getting the meaning of the word woe? Similarly, we have to use it in two manners, right? The next word that is there is EU. This kind of word is generally used when you are too disgusted about something. You're not liking that particular thing and you're not very happy about the thing. So you will be using the word EU for that to describe any kind of disgust. Like you can say, this dish is too bitter, EU. In this manner, you will be using the word EU, right? Then we have a word geez. Geez. This word is not so commonly used, but this is used to describe any kind of surprise. Like for example, you got 10 on 10. Geez, really? Is that so? In this manner, I am showing a surprise to somebody. So this is how I'll be using the word geez. The next interjection that we'll be talking about is yay, yippee. When you're too happy for something. This word actually comes out of excitement. When you're too excited for something and when you're too happy for something, you'll be using the word yay, yippee, like yippee, she won the match, or yay, we won the match. In this manner, we'll be using these words. Coming on to the next word, that is eek. So the word eek is actually a very girly kind of a scream, used generally by girls, of course. So when you are surprised with something and you're not happy about that particular thing, like eek. I think there is a small insect down there. Like when you have to show a sudden surprise of something. So you will be using the word eek for that, right? Okay. So the next interjection that we have is oops or whoops, or the other word for that will be whoops-a-daisy. So how do we use that word? Again, we have to use this when we are talking about any mistake, a small mistake that we acknowledge, a minor mistake in another word will be, we'll be using the word oops. Words used to describe a minor mistake. Oops, I think I didn't plug in my charger. That's why my phone is not charging. So I'll be using the word oops for that. Next word is oh. So again, like this word had two meanings to it. Similarly, this word also has two meanings. Firstly, again, when you are happy or amazed to something. Oh, this baby looks too cute. I'm using this word in a manner that I find that thing very cute. But similarly, if I have to say that somebody fall off the stairs, I cannot say, oh, that's too cute. For that, I'll be using the word oh only, but in a different manner. So we have to use this word to describe a little amount of sadness. But how I say the word matters. Like I'll be saying, oh, she fell off the stairs. So that will be in a manner of a sad manner, but surprised at the same time, right? Next word is duh. So this word actually we have to use when somebody commits a mistake, or that is too obvious to say, or somebody says something which was too obvious. Like for example, I went to Jaipur, if I say, and I'll say that it was too hot in Jaipur. Of course, it'll be too. It'll be very hot in Jaipur, but that was something too obvious to think about it. So when I have to acknowledge a minor mistake, I'll be using duh. Like for example, I plugged in my charger, but I didn't switch on it. So the word will be duh. I didn't use the charger, right? The last word is ugh. When you have to show extreme anger on something, the word will be ugh. Like for example, I'll be saying, ugh, this car is not good for me now, I'll have to sell it. So to express that kind of anger, the word that I'll be using will be ugh. So with this, we come to the end of the first topic that we had today, which was interjections. So the next topic that we have with us today is modals. So let us talk about those. But first of all, I want to ask you, how do we define modals? Actually, modals are the words which are used as helping verbs, or are also called as auxiliary verbs, which are used to describe words. Like for example, I have written the types here and the modal verbs this side. The first modal verb that we have with us is can and could. So let me write one example of it. Here, can and could describe the ability of something. Let me write one sentence for you. So the second topic that we have with us is modals. So what I have done is, I have written the types of modals here and modal verbs this side. So how do we define modals? Modals are actually the helping verbs in any sentence which make any sentence more clear, right? So the first type that we have with us is the ability. So the words that we have is can and could. So how do we use that? When we have to describe the ability of someone or somebody, we have to use the word can. So the example, you will be more clear with the example. Tom can speak in 3 languages fluently. So that is, I'm talking about the ability of Tom, that he can talk in 3 languages very fluently. The word could that we have is also used as the ability of somebody, but this could will be used to talk about the tense of past. Like I will say, Rachel could draw beautiful paintings. But here the word that I used could is used to describe that she used to do that, but not right now. She could do that, the ability was there, but not in past I'm talking about. So this is how we use the modal can and could when it comes to ability, right? The next modal verb is again can, could and may. But the difference is, here it is being used as a permission for something. Like for example, you can send me a mail. Here I am giving a permission to somebody that he can do that particular thing. I have used the same word can, but in a different manner. Then the word is could. I'll be using this word as you could send me the text. Again, I've used the word could, but in a different manner. So there is the type that I've talked about right now is a permission where we can use the words can, could and may. The next modal type is of giving advice, and the modal verb that we'll be talking about in here is should. Like for example, when I have to give advice to somebody, the modal verb I'll be using is should. Like for example is, you should visit doctor twice a month. So here I'm giving an advice, and the modal that I have used for it is should. You should visit doctor twice a month, right? Next type of modal is when we have to give obligation. Now in this, the modal that we'll be using now is when you don't have any other option. You'll have to do that particular thing, right? And the modal verbs that are here is must and have to. So whenever you read or you listen to this thing, that means that is said in a manner of an obligation. You cannot do something of your own choice, but you have to be comfortable with what is being said to you. Like for example, you must learn this text before you go for your exams. That means if this thing is being said to somebody, he has to do that thing. Next, have to, they have to carry their luggage with them. That means when this thing is being said to them, they don't have any other choice. They'll have to stick to that particular thing when the word must or have to is being used at the place. So are you clear with this thing, the obligation of must and have to? The last type is possibility. Again, we have the same type of words like can, could, may or might. So how do we use these kind of words? I called her, she can come for the party. So what I mean in this sentence is, like I called her, she can come for the party. That after calling her, there is a possibility that she can come for that. So the word I have used can again, but in a manner of a possibility, that there is a possibility that she can come for the party, right? Then may. According to the news channel, it may rain tomorrow. So there is again a possibility that it may rain tomorrow, as it was said by the news channel. So let us quickly revise all the types and the modal verbs that we just discussed. So the first one that we had was ability. When we have to describe the ability of something or somebody, we use the word can and could. So the examples that we talked about were Tom can speak in 3 languages, because I meant the ability of Tom, that he can do that. And why I used can? Because I'm talking about something which is there in present. Similarly, when I use the second sentence, I meant Rachel could draw beautiful paintings. Why I use the word could? Because of course I meant that she could do that, but in past. I'm not sure whether she can do the same right now in present. So I use the word could here, right? Next type is permission. When you are giving permission or when you are seeking permission from somebody, you will be using the word can, could and may. So the examples that we discussed were, you can send me a mail. That means I am giving permission to somebody, or if I have to take permission, so I will be saying, can I send the mail to you? So similarly, for asking permission or for giving permission to somebody. Next sentence that I used was, you could send me the text. Again, I talked about this particular thing because I meant this for past, right? Then the third type is advise. When I have to give advice to somebody, the modal that I'll be using will be should. You should visit doctor twice a month. This word should, it's sometimes it comes out of care also. That is why the type that they have named is advise, right? The next type is obligation. Again, as I already said, that when obligation comes, like the words must or have to come, then you don't have any other choice. You will have to stick to that particular thing. So you must learn this text before you go for exam. So there is not any other way out that the person can do when the words must and have to come. The next example was they have to carry their luggage, right? The last modal type was possibility. When we have to describe a possibility of something, again there are 4 words that we have: can, could, may and might. The examples that we used were, I called her so she can come for the party. I meant the possibility, or according to the news channels, it may rain. Or if we are not sure about something and we think that there are quite less chances about that particular thing, then we can use the word might, that it might rain tomorrow. When you are not so sure but you think that a small possibility can come. So that was all about modals. It was just a basic topic that we discussed. There are a lot more and we'll be discussing in our next topic. Thank you.